Hello, it's Ron Aguilera coming to you from the Illinois Conference office building, sitting with Arik Boyko, Stewardship Director, among other hats of the Illinois Conference. And today we want to talk a little bit about what's happening overseas, over in Ukraine. And as you know, it's been in the news over the last month, the attacks that are happening on the people of Ukraine and the effects that is having not only on those individuals from that country, but also from the surrounding countries like Poland, Romania, and others. You may or may not know that the Illinois Conference has the only Polish Seventh-day Adventist church in North America. And Pastor Arik, who's with us, was a former pastor from that church and now, of course, serves here at the conference office. And we also have here in the Illinois Conference the only Russian church in the Lake Union. There are other Russian churches around North America, but we have the only Russian church in the Lake Union, which is made up of about 90% Ukrainians. And so this and these world events have hit hard our members from both our Polish church and our Polish community who are receiving many of the refugees that are coming out of Ukraine, and also, of course, our Russian Ukrainian church here in the Chicagoland area. So today we want to spend a few moments talking about what's happening from Pastor Arik's perspective, and then also a little bit about what you can do to help support our members overseas. So let's begin, Arik, with maybe telling us a little bit about what's happening and what you're hearing from our members here and abroad.
Well, we all know what is happening, east from Poland in Ukraine. And as a result of the situation of the war that is going on then, there is more than 3 million refugees that left Ukraine within this last month. Today is exactly 1 month since the war started. And most of those refugees, it's approaching already 1.5 million, came to Poland, probably due to the similarities with language. Ukrainian and Polish are kind of similar, and we had some Ukrainian refugees since the previous conflict already in Poland. So Poland is receiving a lot of those people, and as for now, Poland is not building refugee camps. Those peoples are in general received by regular citizens and by organizations like churches, for example, and our Seventh-day Adventist Church in Poland. Very small community. We are less than 6,000 baptized members from the population of about 38 million. So we are really tiny minority, but Seventh-day Adventist Church members, not only the organization of the church like unions and conferences and other Poland that we have in Poland, but ordinary church members, local churches are very active in helping those people who are displaced.
Can you talk a little bit about that, how it's affecting our church members? What kind of connections do we have here in Chicago with both Poland and Ukraine?
Yes, with those two churches, with the Russian-speaking church, which is predominantly Ukrainian church, and with Polish church, there is always someone that we know that is currently overseas, whether in Poland or in Ukraine. So it is really hard, if possible at all, to be indifferent to what is going on.
So I want to ask you about specific needs there on the ground as you hear from our members in Poland and our churches and all those involved in the efforts to aid those who are coming over to Poland from Ukraine. What are the specific needs at this time?
I would say that the most urgent need right now in Poland is a financial support for threefold help that we are giving for Ukrainian people right now. First one, due to the military activity there are serious shortages of food in Ukraine. So our church is purchasing food and bringing bus loads of food to Ukraine. So we need some resources to buy those food items. Like in one of our conferences, we received 2 buses from the transportation company, and those buses travel twice a day to Ukraine and back to Poland, taking food to Ukraine and bringing refugees back to Poland. So we need resources for food. We need resources for gas. Gasoline, 1 gallon of gasoline in Poland is over $6 right now. So we need some support with this. And also when we already bring those people to Poland, they find shelter, whether in our churches, in our retreat and vacation centers that we operate in Poland, but also in private homes. Yeah. So we need some support for the operating expenses for those refugee centers.
I'm so so thankful for the generosity of our members over in Poland that are willing to open their homes, that are using the churches for centers to receive individuals who are using their own resources to assist as much as possible. And so that brings me to, again, what opportunity do we have to assist our brothers and sisters over there? And so maybe you could speak a little bit, you've talked about the needs, but maybe speak a little bit about how it is that we can participate in supporting what's going on over there in terms of assisting those who are in desperate need.
Our conference created a special line in our online platform, Adventist Giving. In the section Conference Union, there is a line, Poland, Ukrainian refugees. This line is available only for the churches within the Illinois Conference. This is the Illinois Conference project. So when you open your app or when you open your account in the computer, look for this line in the section Conference Union, Poland, Ukrainian refugees. If you do not see this line, go to the sub-menu in Conference Union section and look for this line and check this line so it will become active. And using this platform, all the donations are tax deductible, and our conference will send those resources, those financial resources, directly to the Polish Union, which is supporting all those local churches, centers, and other entities within the structure of the Seventh-day Adventist Church that are helping currently Ukrainian refugees.
So to summarize, it's able to give financial donations through Adventist Online Giving.
Yes.
This is, again, Illinois Conference Project, so it's through our Illinois Conference Church app or online. 100%
Yes.
of what is going to be given will go directly to assist in what's happening over there and provide, again, support. Again, 100% deductible, as you mentioned, as an added benefit for those of us here in North America. But beside that, anything else that we can do to support our brothers and sisters there?
Well, the scope of this conflict and the effect of this conflict is beyond our ability to comprehend how far it will go. We know that losing your house, losing all your possessions is one thing, but we must remember that many of those people, and usually to Poland, we have women with children, youth, and elderly people. They are leaving their fathers, they are leaving their siblings, they are leaving their children behind. And we must understand that many of them will not see their relatives anymore on this earth. So they definitely need our prayers, our support in our prayers, because the traumatic experience those people are going through is really hard to comprehend and for us to relate to.
Yeah. No. So I want to invite each of our churches in the Illinois Conference to consider what it is that you can do to support our brothers and sisters over in Poland and Ukraine, specifically through this portal that's available on our Adventist Giving online platform. And beyond that, if you would make it a specific point of prayer to pray not only for what is happening globally and the effects that that's having, but specifically for those that are being impacted, both our church members there on the ground, but also the rest of the communities that are being affected by this traumatic event. And beyond that, I want to thank you for lifting up also our members here that are affected, because it's affecting their families and their friends, their homeland. And so I want to thank Pastor Ruslan Drumy, who pastors our Russian-speaking church, and also Pastor Titus Godzowski, who's our Polish pastor, who came only 6 months ago or so from Poland to pastor our Polish church here in the Chicagoland area, to lift them up in prayer, lift up those communities and those members, and together, as we go to the Lord in prayer, we pray for God's will to be done, but to God to place His hand and bring what is needed there to those who are suffering. So thank you for considering this, and we will continue to pray and see how God leads moving forward.